Thank you for taking the time to pop in here today. My name's Elizabeth Hammack. I have been serving the Las Vegas, Henderson, and surrounding areas here for 33 years in real estate. And I put this together. It is a quick overview of what is available in my Homebuyers Advanced Academy that I offer for free so that you can go into the market educated and empowered and really be able to buy your dream home for the best price, get a great deal in the market, and be, a step above everybody else that is competing with you. I have some testimonials that I'd like to share, and these are the Durabants, and they trusted me to buy their home sight unseen from across the country. They had been here struggling to buy a home. We made offer after offer after offer. It didn't work out. I ended up getting a client that was listing his home, and I called them up and I said, you guys just have to trust me. But if you want this house, you gotta, make an offer on it before I put it out on the open market, or it's going to be gone. It was highly competitive then. And they agreed, they trusted me, and we got the house for them, and they stayed in there for 17 years, and they became very dear friends to me, and attended my wedding 20 years ago, and I ended up selling her house in the past few years because Tom passed away. So that's very sad. I miss Tom. This is Wendy and Danny, and I was out of state being in my best friend's wedding, but I had been helping them get qualified and buy a home, and they something came up while I was gone that I thought was perfect for them, so I arranged to have a partner of mine to go show them the house. They wanted it. We did everything digitally, writing the offer and such, and they got that accepted, and they lived in there for many, many years until they relocated during COVID, unfortunately. But they did end up making $110,000 in proceeds from that home purchase for the time that they were there for. So that was a great investment for them. And, this is the benefit of having a great agent that is willing to work while, they have access to all the digital needs to make an offer for you and to negotiate on your behalf, even if they don't happen to be right there. It's also the benefit of having a team. This is a great story. This young first-time home buyer, we were almost closing on his house, and this was a new, beautiful kind of townhome, but not really, more of a duplex setup in Henderson, beautiful area. And he had picked out all his upgrades, house is almost done, and his little puppy jumps off the couch and breaks his leg. So this is already somebody that's scrapping to come up with the down payment for a house, and he had to pay an emergency vet bill of like $2,500, and he just called me. He said, I'm not going to be able to buy the house. I don't have the money to close on it anymore. And this is why when you say, why do I need an agent for a new home? Well, he didn't know. He was going to cancel. He didn't have the money. But I went back to the new home builder and the lender, and I was able to negotiate him working with closing costs, moving some figures around, giving him some of the buyer's agent's commission. The mortgage lender helped. Everybody went in as a team, and we were able to come up with the difference. And yes, a new home builder will negotiate, especially if they're at the end of closing or a standing inventory and they just want the house to close. So if you're talking a few $1,000s, these things can be worked out, but not if you don't know any better. Who is this for? Well, if you're a home buyer that's looking to buy your dream home and you're feeling overwhelmed or intimidated, you just don't know how to move forward, you're a home buyer that needs help navigating complicated mortgage programs, mortgage language, you just want to get your foot in the door to start building future wealth for your family. You would like help with builder incentives, closing costs, buying bonuses that you don't know about, because believe me, they're not going to just throw them at you, if you don't know to ask. You want personal video tours. Are you out of state? Do you need help? Do you need me to go do a personal tour of a home, make a video for you? You don't want to work with a family member or a friend due to disclosure of your personal finances or life circumstances. You might have been contacted by agents that you don't trust. They're very high pressure. They want to do what they need to get you under contract, not listening to what you need. And you want somebody that reads every word that you're signing to you. There's other things that are so important, like you need to know about liens or regulations on certain residential properties, realistic expectations of buying a home. I have 33 years of residential real estate experience in Nevada. I'm a mother, a grandmother, and a Las Vegas fire captain's wife. I've successfully assisted hundreds of home buyers and home sellers. I have 5-star reviews on Zillow and Realtor.com. I'm a complaint-free member of the Realtor Association for 33 years. Multiple clients have become my lifelong friends. I run a no high pressure, just comfortable real estate advice and assistance business model. And I am your one-stop facilitator from day one to getting your keys. I started offering a home buyer sales academy because home buyers are being sold homes. They're not being educated. We don't want you to buy a home and get in there and go, I should have done this. I should have done that. I didn't look at that. I have an example down the street, which I drive by often, and they must not have had an agent because there is a lime green commercial building that is built right next to their wall. So I do not believe they were well informed that they were going to have a lime green possible dentist's office or something built right next to their house. If I would advise, if you're buying something near vacant land, that you absolutely know what it is. Home buying should be pleasurable, not stressful. Home buyers should have some information on what to ask for from their mortgage officer, the seller, and their agent. There's a lot of information online, and it's normal to feel confused and overwhelmed. The truth is that in life, if you're doing everything everyone else is doing, you're going to get the same results as everyone else. And in the real estate market, most people don't find their best home value in real estate because of this. You need to do something different if you want to win. And this is absolutely the way to find a great home deal without overpaying that fits your budget and criteria in a crazy market right now. And this is also considering you may not know all the details about the real estate market, how to hack it, how to source the best options to make your home purchase wish list obtainable. Now, the process can be hard, but we're dedicated to helping solve this very particular problem for home buyers and sellers across the area. And since we're the only people offering the Homebuyer Success Academy, no one else is better suited to help you solve these problems. And I'm on a mission to change as many lives as possible through work knowledge and my negotiation skills. How do you actually go about finding the best deal for you? Well, there's a step-by-step process. I personally guide you through step by step, so you do not have to worry about anything except for doing your own part in what you're guided to do. But a lot of people start it without any guidance. They don't know what to do. This leads to frustration, anxiety, confusion. This is the biggest purchase of your life. You need guidance. You need direction. The best way to start is to dictate, are you ready? If you do this correctly and know what to do step by step, you'll have far less stress, you'll make more profit, and overall be more satisfied. Here are some factors you can consider as we're going over this. Income and employment status. A mortgage lender will want to see a work history of about 2 years to ensure you're stable and reliable on your income. And if you're on payroll, you will have to provide pay stubs, tax returns, probably bank statements. Liquid assets. Are you buying a home with no money down? It is possible, but those are certain loan programs that you have to qualify for. Most of them are VA, and those costs don't come free. They have to be asked for from the seller. But most homeowners need to have some kind of down payment, and that's, can be from 3.5%, 5%, 10%, 20% is honestly the best to avoid mortgage insurance premiums, but you can obviously get a fairly low down payment on a home, and that is something that we will arrange ahead of time. You don't make offers on properties till this is all organized. What is your credit score? This dictates what loans you can qualify for. It also tells them how much money they want down. And if you do need help, we can help you take steps to improve your credit score, pay off debt. Better numbers, better credit definitely means better loan terms. The timing depends on personal factors such as financial readiness, lifestyle preferences, market conditions, such as economic health, current mortgage rates. Consult with an expert before making big financial decisions to purchase a home. This is where an experienced agent comes into the process. Cash home buyers will need proof of funds and a letter or statement from their bank that So step one, what score do you need to qualify for home loan? Well, most lenders require a credit score of at least 620. I'm going to say a median score of 630 right now. So median means you do all of your credit lines. It's called a tri-merge, and whatever your middle score is, it needs to be a 630. Above a 720 will generally get you the very best loan terms. Question two, what is your score based on? Payment history, of course. Amount of money that you owe on your credit cards. Are they maxed out? How long have you had credit? The types of credit you're using, and then are you currently pursuing new credit, which is probably not a good idea when you're trying to buy a house. Step two, what homes can you actually get? In business and life in general, time is money. Most people waste a lot of precious time finding homes and searching for real estate that they cannot qualify for. If you don't know what you can actually afford, you'll likely cause yourself a lot of stress and frustration from the wasted time, unreal expectations. Furthermore, it could prevent you from winning offers and bids on homes. The first thing the home seller and their agent will want to see is a mortgage pre-approval letter or a proof of funds if you're paying cash. And sometimes they'll want to see a pre-approval and proof of funds of the down payment. Be aware of that. The best way to see what you can actually get is to get pre-approved from a mortgage lender, which I can recommend a few, and you can see where your personality coincides with them. And there's also special lenders for special programs. When you apply, your lender will give you a pre-approval letter that states how much you're pre-approved for, and that's based on your credit, your assets, and your income. And you can show your pre-approval letter to your real estate agent so they can help you find homes that are within your budget and your criteria, and hopefully pre-ask, is the seller willing to help with certain things that you might need, help with closing costs, etc. A pre-approved mortgage lets you know how much you can afford, what your rates will be, what your monthly payments will be, and things like that. And you will know all of that before you start making offers. Here's another question. Do you want to work with a mortgage broker, or bank? This graph will be able to give you an accurate representation as to where to go. Typically, we use mortgage brokers. Banks have a much stricter criteria they only work within what they offer. And the mortgage brokers, they will search around and find you something that's best for you and try to fit you somewhere. And when you hear, oh, they, saved a purchase, or those are usually mortgage brokers. Those are people that can work with private, money and different banks and things like that to help you, as opposed to a bank who has their program, certain credit requirements, their money. So typically I do work with mortgage brokers. However, if you have perfect credit, down payment, this and that, and you have a good relationship with a banker, that's fine too. Let's see. It all comes down to knowing your options and choosing what is best for your unique situation. Okay, mortgage options, fixed versus variable rates. Well, that depends on the time. When the rates are great, you don't really need this. You would want a fixed rate most likely, because this is going to help you feel comfortable that your payment is not going to change unless the taxes and insurance go up, which they do. However, the original payment and interest should stay the same on a fixed rate. Now, if it's a period of time where the interest rates are high, there are incentives that new home builders are offering to buy down your rate for, say, 2 years or 5 years, which gives you a lower rate in the hopes that the rates will go down and you can refinance before that period comes up. However, if the rates don't go down and they're much higher, you're also on a ledge there after that 5 years, because you have to refinance or the rates go super high, or you're just stuck with a high rate. So the fixed rate is typically most often the better option of a guarantee. But, of course, that's a personal buying decision. Mortgage options. Okay, credit score. When was the last time you checked your credit score? A lot of times people have credit cards, bank accounts that are doing all that for free now. So that's something to keep an eye on. But, if you have a low credit score, as long as you understand what you need to do, you can help build it back up. And this is something that a mortgage lender can help you do for free. And we can connect you with a mortgage person that can say, hey, this is what you need. This is what you need to do to get yourself in a position in a few months or a year or however long to buy a home. And it's dependent on your payment history. How much credit are you using? Are your credit cards maxed out? The age of how much credit have you had? A young person might not have even gotten a credit card. Well, unfortunately, you got to get a credit card, or you got to get a letter from your power company or your landlord, because no credit lines aren't good either. Try not to have a lot of credit inquiries when you're thinking about shopping for a home, and definitely do not be buying cars or furniture or financing anything on credit when you're in the process of buying a home. And also, how many accounts do you have open? And if you don't know, you can go to like creditkarma.com, or look at some of your bank accounts and things like that that might offer the service for free to take a look at your credit. What is your plan B? Let's say your lenders turn you down. What are your alternatives? Well, there's a cosigner, family member that might be willing to co-sign for you on your mortgage loan. There are banks that can guarantee your loan, but that is a very rare situation. Typically, the only option here would probably be having a co-signer, and that happens a lot, for people. Family members want to help them out. Okay, what does the pre-approval process involve? Well, you have to disclose your income, your assets, credit check. If you don't get pre-approved initially, it might just be because the rates are higher, and you might not be able to find anything that you can afford payment-wise. If you don't get pre-approved, you could look for a family member or friend that might co-sign for you. You can consult your agent, and your mortgage lender to see how they can get you on track to improve your things for the near future. Finding the right real estate agent. This is where most home buyers go wrong. You choose the wrong agent. And the truth is that you can do everything right, but you mess this part up, or you think you don't need an agent. And this is a huge purchase. You don't want this to be haunting you for years to come. Ideally, find an agent that's doing something different than every other agent. This way you know that you won't just get the same results as other people doing the same exact thing. Your real estate agent is your representative in the entire transaction. Your agent should be looking out for your best interests and not just trying to force you or pressure you into a situation to close the sale. If you're out of state and your agent should be handling like video tours and all of your purchase agreements and things like that, and all aspects of negotiating with the seller and things like that. Your agent should also be knowledgeable about new home builders, what incentives are offered, are they helping with your buyer's agent's fees, costs, to help you buy, bonus incentives, upgrades, things like that. So these are things that all can be negotiated on a buyer's behalf that they would not know if they're doing this on their own. You should look into experience, testimonials, amount of time it takes for your calls to be returned, texts, emails. Your agent should be aligned with your vision. You should be able to trust them to help you make the right choice. Does the agent only care about a quick commission check? Do they have knowledge of the area? Does the agent have an understanding of the economy, the housing sector? Are they attentive to you? Most successful real estate agents have multiple clients at any given time, and you want to feel important. What is the value proposition? Are they offering what every other agent is offering, or are they different? Is it possible to buy without a real estate agent? Well, yes, it is. It isn't recommended, especially for first-time home buyers, because the home buying process can be complicated and emotional. Having an agent by your side can help you navigate the housing market, submit a legally sound offer, and avoid overpaying for a property. They can also help you get offers and incentives that you're unaware of. Even many new home builders offer assistance with the buyer's agent fee because they appreciate agents representing the buyers. They represent the seller and not the buyer. And do you know this, that the listing agent and the home builder represent the seller? What is the agent responsible for? Your agent will find and show you properties that fit your needs, write your offers, negotiate on your behalf, and they can also assist with connecting you with the mortgage lender, helping you in the pre-qualification process, how much to offer for your properties. And, as an agent, as your agent, I would have a fiduciary duty to you and always work at your best interest. And I'm not just saying that, I do that. How can you find the right agent? Well, you can find somebody that just has years of complaint-free service with the Board of Realtors, which is a ethical board that we subscribe to, and that you feel comfortable. You don't feel pressured. You can sleep on it. You're making a right decision, and even if you say, you know what, no, I changed my mind, that they say, okay, well, you let me know what you need and what we need to change. Does it cost you anything to use an agent? Okay, so this is a tricky subject here, but recent lawsuits have gone on against agents nationwide because there were sellers that didn't want to pay the buyer's agent commission. They were mad about that. And there were buyers that felt they paid too much because the seller was paying the buyer's agent, although they used the buyer agent and the buyer agent worked and did their entire transaction, but they didn't like that. So this all came out in the wash where sellers, even if they want to, they can't offer in the multiple listing to pay your buyer's agent. So this just made it hard on buyers and hard on sellers. This is how it is now. The buyer's agent has to be in a buyer's brokerage agreement with the buyer. And the buyer is technically responsible for the buyer's agent fees. However, your agent will also find you properties and negotiate as best they can, getting your buyer's agent fee paid for you, and also can find you many new home builders that are willing to do that because they really want the agents to bring their buyers there. And so therefore they do offer to help the buyers with their buyer brokerage fees. So no, it's not free. People don't work for free. And it is a lot of work. And it is a lot of knowledge, and unfortunately a few greedy people that decided to be upset instead of just pay it forward. This is how I feel. I feel like if I list my house and I compensated the buyer's agent, then when I am a buyer, that seller might be compensating my buyer's agent, but they kind of just messed up the whole system. Now it's very confusing, but the reality of it is that nobody works for free. And yes, there are fees, but I will do my best to negotiate those on your behalf. Begin house hunting. Okay, so when you house hunt, you don't want to make the same mistakes most home buyers make, and you don't necessarily have the experience to correctly analyze whether it's a good purchase or not. This can include choosing the wrong house sitting next to vacant land, which I talked about earlier. That will soon be a 6-story apartment building behind your wall, or buying a home on previously contaminated land in which you can't plant fruit trees. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I want to live in a house on land that I can't plant a fruit tree. Anyway, or homes with reclamation liens where the owners got paid to take out their grass and now you're never allowed to have grass there. Did you know that? Were you aware of those things that exist? These types of things can make or break the joy in the real estate buying process. And it's expensive to buy a house. You can't just move if you're stuck in a house now. Oh my gosh, I can't put grass in my house or a pool in my house. Once you close, it's like too late. And yes, if the seller didn't disclose it, there could be a lawsuit, but really, like, who has money to file a lawsuit all the time? It's unfortunate, but we have to sue, which costs money to get our rights enforced. So the best thing to do is to have your agent help you read through all these things and know things so that you can walk away in the inspection period or the period of time in which you have to decide if you're moving forward or not. Now, to succeed in house hunting, you need a real estate agent that will help you search for your house, but also educate you. A lot of agents fail here. This is where you can stay within your budget, meet your wish list, get all the concessions that you deserve, and make a list of your top priorities. An agent can also look at properties that you might not see online, foreclosures, for sale by owners, expireds that recently did not sell but might be open to an offer, but not on the open market, and then, of course, exclusive office properties. What's negotiable and non-negotiable? You want to look for a home that meets your needs not just today, but also 5 to 10 years in the future. And we'll consider some other things in house hunting. Location, where do you want to live? Is there a specific neighborhood? What size? Do you need extra storage? What size garage? Do you even need a garage? Can you buy a condo? Special features, do you require a swimming pool, RV parking? Is it important that the home is environmentally friendly? Is it important that there's not a pit bull next door? Although I can't really control that, but I've looked at properties in my, buying my own homes. If they have certain things next door, I'm out. Lifestyle, are you planning to grow your family? Are the schools important? Are you close to retirement? Are the neighborhood partiers, which I also can't control, but we want to go visit a property all hours of the day, which I would tell you, go by in the morning, go by in the midday, go by in the evening, see what's going on, talk to the neighbors. They'll tell you everything. They're very voluntary. Okay. What are some of the things to consider when shopping for a home? Square footage, home condition, how much repairs does it need? Because it might be a great deal, but there's more, some mortgage lenders, they don't want to lend you any money on homes with certain repairs that are needed. It has to have flooring, it has to have an air conditioner, it has to have a dishwasher. So these are things you need to know. And you might not think it's important, but you get into a contract, you put your earnest money down, you pay the inspector. Like, these things are things you want to know before you're out hundreds of dollars and you have to move on. Do you need access to public transportation? Is it a walkable community if that's important to you? Nearby restaurants? What is the ranking of the zone schools? Do you need a certain lot size? These are all customized searches that can be easily sent to your email inbox every day, instead of constantly being online looking. What about homeowners association dues, master plan fees, special assessment fees? These are important. They are part of you qualifying. So you might qualify for a certain payment, but if there's homeowners association dues, that reduces the payment you can qualify for. Are there solar panels? Are the solar panels leased or owned? How does this affect your ability to qualify for this home? It does. It's counted in part of the payment that you can afford. It nicks that down. And also, there's a lot to solar panels. So this is something you really need an agent for, because it can get complicated with that. How many homes should you see before you decide which one? Well, that's up to you. You could see your first home and fall in love with it and say, this is it, I need it right now. And there's no saying, if you're new to town and you want to look at different areas, we can explore several areas of town until you decide what place you love and then focus on that area. So it's how many homes is up to you. Don't let anybody tell you how many homes you should see. Can you just find your homes online? Yes, and you should look online. You should see what's out there, and you should ask me about that. You should also be being provided a custom home search based on exactly what you ask for. And here's the thing. The realtors have access to the properties immediately as they're put into the system by other realtors. So when you see something out there on Zillow and such, those are a few days old. And sometimes they might be gone already. So, with your agent, you're also getting immediate access to new properties on the market that fit your criteria. Making an offer. Okay, so, sometimes paying a little extra for a home can lead to just something you love and a good investment for years to come. But of course, you want to try to stay within your budget as much as possible. People don't want to be house poor. The best way to succeed in the offer submission process is to use an experienced agent that can help you, prepare your purchase agreement. A purchase agreement is 11 pages by itself, plus all the state required disclosures and requests for the sellers to disclose. And, all the purchase agreements have to be in writing. And here's another example of why you need your own agent, because if you go to the seller, first of all, now they're probably going to refer you to another agent in their office, and they're going to have you sign a buyer's brokerage agreement with that agent. But realistically, they represent the seller. So in this case, pretty much no matter what you do, you're going to have to sign a buyer's brokerage agreement either with the seller's agent or with your own agent. So in this case, why not have your own amazing agent that's going to take care of you? And the purchase agreement, very long, talks about things like when do you want to close, who's paying what, when, how are your taxes and everything are prorated, what are the deadlines to protect you. Do you need 3 to 7 days to meet the requirements of the contingencies? You want a home inspection, the contract subject to financing, it's subject to the appraisal. What are your other contingencies? Well, your other contingencies are reviewing the seller's property disclosure, reviewing the HOA documents. There's a certain period of time in here that somebody needs to keep track of, because if you let that time go, you've erased all your contingencies and you can no longer get out of the contract and get your earnest money back, which, if we didn't go over this, an earnest money deposit is with your offer and it's usually about 1%. So let's just say you're buying a $400,000 property, you're going to put about $4,000 earnest money into escrow, which is refundable during the contingent period. But if you miss that, or you don't have an agent and you're representing yourself and you miss those contingency stages, that money is hard to the seller now for the inconvenience and you missing your deadlines. So, okay, another thing about your purchase agreement, what do you want included? When you walk into a house, you make your own offer and then you go to move in and all the appliances are in a truck halfway across the country. Because it wasn't in your agreement, you didn't know to put it in your agreement. What you want, you have to tell your agent, these are things important to me that I love, that I want to stay, and that's things that have to be negotiated ahead of time. All right, step 5. Based on market supply, market demand, and where the market is now, is it a buyer's or seller's market? During the time of purchase, will we decide the best price and have more in-depth conversation regarding your offer? Here it is. Earnest money deposits are usually 1 to 2% of the purchase price. It goes towards the down payment if you finish the purchase of the home. Now, a seller can either accept your offer as is, which is rare. They can reject it all out, but most likely they'll give you a counter offer unless they have a bunch of other offers and they like something else better. But most likely they give you a counter offer. Maybe they don't like your offer price. Maybe they don't like the costs you asked for. Maybe they need a different closing date. Little things like that are not super important. Most things can be worked out. When you're in a multiple offer situation, my recommendation in this situation is, put your best foot forward. Try not to have too many contingencies. Make it as appealing as possible, and you just offer your best price. Find out when the seller needs to move and try to make that the closing date. Adjusting, your contingencies on the sale. These type of things need to be negotiated, but also in your best interest. Like, you don't want to erase contingencies that are going to harm you. You need your inspection time. You need your HOA disclosure time. You need a certain amount of timelines for things like this, especially if you're getting a loan. You need appraisal time and loan review time, things like that. Okay, so can you cancel after executing your purchase agreement? You can, but you will typically lose your deposit unless the home fails inspection or another contingency. Who writes the purchase agreement? Well, your agent does, and they also prepare all the other necessary documents that are required for both agents, the state of Nevada and the forgive me for a second, the Nevada Real Estate Division, to protect people. And those are things, the paperwork gets super thick. How long can negotiations go on for? Well, this varies. This can be super quick, 24 to 48 hours. But, sellers might be waiting for a better offer. The agent might not be doing a very good job. They don't care. So, there's a certain point where, you might have to walk away. But obviously I would do my best to bug them or call their broker or something like that to get a response. But you can't make a seller respond. If they don't want to respond and the agent says they don't want to respond, then they probably should cancel that representing that seller, because it's just a disservice to everybody. Closing. Okay, so congratulations, you made it to the final step. When this time comes, a lot of home buyers can make mistakes and end up confused and spending more than they should on fees and expenses because the closing process is complicated, requires a lot of legal paperwork, and has a lot of costs. And those costs need to be specified. It's best to consult with your agent and have them help you make this like a seamless and easy closing process. And we also have title companies, escrow officers, mortgage lender. Everybody works together to try to make this as seamless as possible. And it's so much better if you are being guided and you know what you're doing. When you go through the closing process and have a lot of guidance, you have a lot of confidence, and it will eliminate, up and down variables and stress and things like that. You'll have peace of mind. You can be more excited and hopefully happy. When you do get to the time of closing, typically you are going to do a walkthrough about 3 days before, just to make sure the home is in the same condition that you agreed to purchase it in, like it's not burned down, flooded, they didn't take everything out of it that was agreed to stay, that type of thing. And during closing, this is when the title will actually get transferred to you. And the way that this works is, if you're out of state, we would do this with a mobile notary. And if you are in state, we would sit down at the title company together or send a notary to your home to sign all the closing documentation, in which you will need ID. And then the documents come back to title. And then once the loan is funded, or the funding is all there, if it's cash, then they will get permission to record, and that will probably be the next day. Now, if this is a Friday that you're signing, do not plan on moving on the weekend, because it will not close till Monday. And this happens to a lot of people and a lot of agents. You need to make your closing dates on Wednesdays or Tuesdays to make sure that any delays are handled, especially if people want to move that weekend, to give everybody time to get the funding in, the loan docs in, and the closing recorded, because you cannot have possession until the property is recorded, because the insurance is still in the seller's name until it's recorded in your name. So they're liable, and they're not going to let you move into their house until you're covered by the insurance. So that's just the way it goes. So, this is where an experienced agent would plan accordingly. You're going to sign all your legal documents, closing disclosures, promissory notes, deed of trust. You'll have already had your closing funds wired, meaning the rest of your down payment and your escrow fees and things like that. They will tell you what that is. They'll give you wiring instructions, which also be very careful. Lots of wire fraud. So I will educate you on that before you ever wire anything. Possession date. Okay. This is important because you need to pre-arrange for your moving date. You need to pre-arrange for your utilities. Here in Nevada, we can do transfers for a lot of stuff. You can tell them, the power's on over there in their name, turn it on in my name on this date. And but like gas, someone has to be there because the gas company has to come in and check everything. Internet cable, got to be there. So these are things you want to have, pre-arranged. The home is typically left in broom clean condition, so you're probably going to want it professionally cleaned before you move in, unless you plan on doing that yourself. Make sure you've let the post office have mail forwarding instructions. And then once you're in, if your sign or lockbox aren't down in a few days, you can call me or call the agent on the sign to come get their things off. But give them a few days. Okay, other monthly costs to budget for. Now, if you don't put at least 20% down on a property, there's going to be several hundred extra dollars a month on your house payment for mortgage insurance. And this is insuring the bank basically against your default. So a lot of people don't have this down. A lot of people pay mortgage insurance. So do not feel bad about this, but just understand, if you're out there doing a mortgage calculator and you're not putting 20% down, it could be inaccurate by a few $100s. Does the place have HOA fees? Those are not paid in your mortgage payment. Property taxes are paid in your payment, and you can find out what those are as we look at the house. We can look at the tax amount. Electric, water, gas, those are not in your payment. These are home expenses now that you're not renting. Do you need a landscaper? Pool maintenance. Pool maintenance expensive. That's not in your payment. Home insurance. This is something you can shop for the best deal, or get it bundled with your auto and that type of thing. But you are allowed to shop for that, and you have to have that information to escrow before the loan will be funded. So that's something that you can help yourself financially a little bit, and that is included in your payment. Special assessments. Okay, this is different in different areas, but we have something called SIDS and LIDs here that they had for master plan communities, and these are paid. They were thousands of dollars, and they were paid like biannually or annually. A lot of them are paid off, but there are still properties with these on them. And we need to know that, and that needs to be disclosed, and that has to be included in your affordability. And also if you even want to deal with that. Those are something though that will eventually be paid off. It's not a forever deal. Now solar is a whole nother animal. That takes a lot. I'm not a super big solar fan, but if you are, it does come with a lot of different paperwork and different disclosures, and you also have to qualify for the payment on top of your payment. It could reduce what you can buy because that payment counts as part of your affordability. I hope I explained that properly. If you can afford $2,200 a month and the solar payment is $200, now you can only look up to $2,000 a month in affordability. So hopefully that clarifies that. Let's see, yearly or miscellaneous costs in your budget. Well, ongoing repairs. You're a homeowner now. No your landlord is going to fix anything. So you have a leak, you got to fix it. Your appliances go out, you got to fix it. So, if you have a home warranty, which I try to negotiate that on behalf of my buyers, unless they absolutely tell me they don't want it, but it will cover you for a year and you can renew it after that, and you pay a deductible, and it's just really good for very expensive repairs, especially after you've just spent every dime you had to buy a house and oh my gosh, the air conditioning goes out and you pay $95 and they come fix it. So that could be a blessing, and that's definitely something that your agent will negotiate for you on your behalf to try to get that paid. Special assessments, we talked about SIDS and LIDs. It's solar panels. Okay, went over that. Special homebuyer assistance programs in Nevada. Home is Possible is a program we have here. You have to go through Home is Possible lender, which I could refer you if you're interested in that. You must have at least a medium 640 credit score, and then they have a little online 2-hour homebuyer education video that they require you to watch and get your certificate to qualify. So this is stuff you want to get done ahead of time before your house shopping. Even though it's only 2 hours, get this going, get approved if you do want to do this, and you can get up to 5% of the loan value towards your down payment and closing costs. So that's pretty grand. I mean, if you're buying a $300,000 house, that's $15,000. That's considerable. So this is something worth looking into. It does put you in a position of, certain homes and things like that, but it's definitely worthwhile to at least get approved for it if you need help with your down payment. It has to be your primary residence. And of course, the contract has to be written by your agent to disclose the program and negotiate on your behalf what's needed for this program on your contract. All right. Home buyers can sometimes get help with costs from the seller or family member. And I talked to you about this, that we can try to negotiate some costs from the seller, whether it's a new home builder or seller marketing their home through another agent. We can, based on your needs by your mortgage officer and yourself, the offer will be crafted on your behalf to help you get these items covered and taken care of. These requests could include help with the closing costs, help with repairs, help with new home upgrades. And some new home builders are offering even lower fixed rates, and also offering, a lot of them offer to pay your buyer agent fees. Okay. Find the right agent through trial and error. Well, finding your agent that experienced, trustworthy, aware of market trends, responsive, attentive, and treats you as their only client and has extensive real estate knowledge is just hard. You might end up with a brand new agent that doesn't know how to get you your absolute best you deserve or need. And there's times when you might feel forced to move on something that is just not what you want. Your agent might be more concerned about closing the sale than giving you time to think or sleep on it. And you can try to purchase a home yourself without an agent, yet with the current policy changes, it's nearly impossible to look at homes without a signed touring agreement or a signed buyer's package. Brokerage agreement, my bad. So the worst thing that could happen to you is you end up in a binding contract with an agent that you don't like just because you wanted to view a house. This would not be in your best interest. Choose an agent that makes you feel comfortable and empowered to make decisions on your own. And that's me. All right, so work with a no high pressure, comfy me. You can hire myself and my team to represent you and get access to our VIP Homebuyer Success Academy for free. And this is an extended version of what you've gone over through today. A lot of information, and you will just really be empowered and know a lot going into this process. Takes the fear away. This shouldn't be fearful. This is the only way to guarantee success in the market because there's something completely new and different, and only a small handful of home buyers will take the time to do this. And here's my service guarantees. Finding the right realtor is scary, and I want to take any form of risk off your plate as far as making these decisions. So we come with, I say we as me and my team, because I do have transaction coordinators and people that are always there for you. What if I'm on a cruise, something like that? You have backup. Okay, there is backup, people that you can go to, managers, transaction coordinators. There's always going to be someone for you to talk to. So that's very important. But I have a 12-month satisfaction guarantee. If for any reason you aren't satisfied or want to sell your home in the first 12 months, I'll sell it and I will not charge you a commission. I will promise to send mailers, cold call homeowners, door knock. If we can't find what you're looking for and you want something in a certain area, we'll work hard to find that. If for any reason you aren't satisfied working with me, I will let you be free to walk away. And essential services are, if you're a police officer, firefighter, teacher, healthcare worker, or military veteran, you might qualify for hundreds in savings through free home appraisal and home warranty. So that's something we can talk about. I will make sure to provide you regular property updates as soon as possible when they come on the market. And this is days before Zillow and other online platforms have them. Exclusive listings. You can get access to exclusive office listings, and I have a highly productive office. They work very hard to sell their own listings and things like that. So that's great for buyers to have something that might not be available to everybody else. Off-market listings, we can look at bank-owned properties, foreclosure properties, etc. Keep in mind those might need repairs that you might not necessarily get a prime mortgage for if they need too many repairs. But of course, cash buyers, have open access to those type of purchases. But there are also FHA loans that will allow you to do repairs. So that's an option too. So never think never. Homebuyer Success Academy training portal, you'll have access to that for free. Free training, free empowerment, so that you will have that knowledge above and beyond other home buyers out there. And, the thing is, people think, oh, I can do this on my own, or I know it all. But then, you end up in a position where, like one of my clients whose, dog broke his leg, wouldn't have bought his house at all. And his house has gone up over $150,000 in 3 years. So these are things that a good agent is worth it. And, make the proper choice, do your studies, take the time to learn more. And not only that, but through this free Homebuyers Academy, you learn, what do you really need? What do you really want? What strategy do you want? Do you just want to get in a home, or do you want to get in a home, live there 2 years, sell it without capital gains, and put it towards another house? What's your strategy? What do you want? And you just want to start somewhere to put your own paint on the walls. So these are things that you can learn while you're, doing the Homebuyer Success Academy and deciding where you want to be with this type of thing. Okay, so when you become successful and empowered, that makes us a powerful team to make sure that we can get out there and get the home that you deserve on the terms you deserve. So why choose me? You'll get access to my exclusive VIP Homebuyer Success Academy. You'll be able to find the best home that fits your criteria and budget faster. You can forget about other agents taking advantage of you for just a commission check because you know better now. And you will feel relieved because we have a handheld educational approach towards working with our clients. We've developed our Homebuyer Success Academy after working with many clients over many years and taking inspiration from other industries. And many of our clients have used this program to start building their net worth and ultimately enjoy their dream home. We have a great network of resources available to you that will help you get the best deal on your next property purchase. And we will help you get access to all buyer programs that you might be interested in that were mentioned earlier in this training and anything new that may come up in the near future. We'll walk you through the process step by step, ensuring you get the best deal for your home purchase. And we practice what we preach. I'm ethical, I'm compassionate, I'm reliable, and I hope to have, become lifelong friends. A lot of my clients have become lifelong friends that gone to my wedding, gone to my daughter's wedding, come to see my grandchildren. And, this is the hope for everybody, that you can have someone you trust and not be afraid to pick up the phone and call, because it's not full of pressure. It's easy. It's comfortable. It's a counselor. I should be a consultant, not a uncomfortable call to make. Okay, so this is for anyone who's looking to buy your dream home with the best bang for your buck, but feeling overwhelmed and intimidated. Do you have bad credit? Do you need a little assistance with preparing to buy a home? Want to build equity, have some kind of financial plan. I've helped people buy their first home, stay 2 years, buy the next home, finding a good deal when the time came that they wanted to buy their next home, and helping you buy for the best price possible for that market and get as much as you have coming to you, whether it's incentives or help with closing costs or paying your buyer's agent fees, whatever. The goal is to feel fulfilled and feel like you got your value out of your experience. If you're actively searching online but you need advice or you don't know what to do next, okay, I found my house. I'm interested in the house. And, what do I do now? And, you're not alone. You won't be alone. Fear of overpaying or working with a dishonest agent that's looking for a quick check. You searched online, but you can't find a home that fits your criteria. You've worked with an agent you don't trust, or you don't feel comfortable calling an agent due to high pressure sales. You want full disclosure. You want someone who reads every paper to you. You want to be given the respect of handling realistic expectations, which I know you can. So here is my information, my phone number, my website, and we can definitely book a call. We can do something on Zoom. We can text. I can come see you in person. We could go see a house in person. And the thing is, though, I only take 5 new clients a month. And the reason is because I did in my previous guarantee promise priority treatment, and that can't happen if I have too much on my plate. And I want to treat every client as if they're my only client. So I have a motto that I believe in: no high pressure, comfortable service, and you will not feel pressured in anything with me and my team. But if you want to grab your appointment sooner than later, so otherwise it may be next month. And then we'll get you at least started on the Homebuyers Academy, and then obviously, get you to a point of being ready. We can give you the education empowerment to make your own educated decisions, and that's just how it should be. Because you've watched the video and invested so much of your time, I do want to let you know about some special client bonuses when you do decide to work with me. And these bonuses are, for example, the Homebuyer Success Academy online training, and that'll be a portal that you'll have a login for, and you can go do that at your own pace. And then I do yearly entries to win, surprise gifts for my clients, and it's usually home themed. And then exclusive possession day homebuyers gift basket, local support group access, and VIP homeowner referral program. And this is especially great for new homeowners and owners relocating the area, because you don't always know everybody or who to call when you need something. In summary, okay, 12-month satisfaction guarantee, Dream Home Finder, no obligation certificate, essential services program for our first responders and teachers, veterans also, and then a performance guarantee, exclusive listings, access, and then your free home buyers training academy, plus your VIP bonus package. But that's for being a client and being special, and that's just, you know, what I offer to my clients, or my thank you to my clients. Okay, so will this work if you have bad credit? We have to set you on a plan, and that's just being honest. Will it work if you have little or no down payment? Reasonably, you have to have at least 3.5% to 4% down. Okay, let's be realistic for almost every loan. Okay, and if you don't have that, consider trying to get a gift from a family member. Excuse me, are there any long-term contracts? No. The buyer's brokerage agreement can apply to a single property. It can apply to a small period of time, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, everybody needs to feel comfortable. I'm not going to sleep if you don't feel comfortable, and you're not going to like me if you don't feel comfortable. So we shouldn't bother. So no, we will negotiate everything. The buyer's brokerage agreement will be negotiable. Or working together will be negotiable. What you like will be negotiable. If you have a complaint, we will talk about it. What are the exact terms of 12-month satisfaction guarantee? If you do need to resell your home in 12 months, I will not charge you to a commission for that. And then obviously we'll help you find another home, or we'll refer you if you're being relocated to an agent out of state. Okay, so here's my information again. Phone number is 338-BETH, 702-338-2384. Feel free to text me if you still don't feel comfortable calling me, and also email, and we can do a video call. You can email me questions and we can just chat back and forth. Okay, so you have a great day, and